Hola, coño. It is I, Jigglybutter. I will be your conductor for today, to guide you through the realms that is going to be Hell's Paradise. Know that this ride will be janky as all fuck, as the person that's created this, i.e. me, has no fucking clue what they're doing. Including this, so forgive me. Please know that loss of limbs shouldn't occur at any point during this ride, though I am told by the highly trained legal professional within my brain to not accept any liability for such occurrences. Yes, that's pretty much it, actually. I don't know if that's legally binding or not, but nah. I bring to you today a sneak peek of the chaos that currently is your park, namely Hell's Paradise. This, at this point in time, is very much a work in progress. Please keep this in mind. There are some parts which are further along completion than others. One thing I would ask, indeed encourage, in fact, is if there are any ideas, suggestions, amendments, or anything that you would like to change or even have removed, please feel free to let me know, and I will make sure that they are done. I presented this to you in this particular fashion, as this video is probably going to stretch on for a little while. I've already tried to record this once, and it ended up being 30 minutes long. So, this probably will be around about that length, probably a little longer, I'm not sure. I hope that this may provide some entertainment, maybe. If not, then at least some sort of an insight into what is going on. This is something that I've been doing for, I would say, very much on and off for about the last 4 or 5 months. Very much inspired by the videos that you started to watch, which included roller coasters, because you love roller coasters. And that got me to thinking. I was like, you have Planet Coaster. I have Planet Coaster. 2 and 2 together. Why not make you a theme park? So, that is what I've been doing. There are portions of this park which, when I get to them, I will ask certain questions. There's one that will be pretty much immediate. So, with that being said, I hope that you enjoy this little guided tour. As it is currently, there are no guests in the park, so you won't see any at the moment. They have been in the park before, just to kind of test out certain things, but yeah, they are off for the moment, so you won't see them walking around. I hope you enjoy. To begin with, this is currently the entrance to your park, so your guests will come in through here, and they will work their way through this tunnel, and they will eventually come into the light. And this is where we find the start of your park. So, as we can see, your name, which is in light, although obviously with it being the middle of the day, it's a bit difficult to see. A beautiful picture of you up on the mountainside. And this brings me to one of the first things that I would ask of you. This particular picture that is up there, and indeed there are 7 others, 6 of which are currently in this little kind of hallway here, and there's another one over here somewhere behind this hill, that have some of the emote pictures of yourself. I would say at this current moment in time, they are there as a placeholder. Should, however, you wish for these to be replaced with something else, because I appreciate that the artworks themselves are certainly not owned by me, that we can swap those out for something else. As the guests arrive, they will be greeted with a rather idyllic entrance. This has a little bit more work to be done on it, but effectively, I'm going to put some more flowers down here, make it a bit more colourful, and also down here. But we have some nice little potted plants, some lovely little trees, a little pathway, which, rolling down here, will have a more fantasy aspect to it. We're able to sit and just gaze over at the waterfalls. And coming away, you'll see, again, a few pathways leading off in various different directions. This particular pathway, we shall go up in a second. This is the main thoroughfare through to the park proper. One of the many shops that will be lined up within your park. This one currently, the employer, let's just say we didn't necessarily agree on the contract that they were on at the time, so they decided to fire themselves. They're no longer here. They shall be replaced very shortly. Here we have, this is actually a toilet, this isn't actually somewhere for people just to, you know, meet up and fuck. A very pretty house, nonetheless. At least I think so. This one of the entrances for the staff members, so whenever they get tired or need a break, they will come through here and into here. Poor little guy. It's all just grouped together. So they will disappear off into there and suddenly magically reappear again. And we have little fireflies, glow bugs, whatever you want to call them. Butterflies. Pretty butterflies. There is also a slight theme that pervades this entire park of a particular colour. I don't know if you can tell what that colour is. Here is a bit of a focal point for the guests when they come through. So this waterfall, again, it will probably stay this way, but is a bit of a placeholder at the moment. There's probably a few extra things that need to be done with this at the moment. And then this just kind of pond, lake kind of situation around the outside. I did have some content which I got off of the Steam Workshop, but that was actually swans and ducks. And then I thought, that's a really stupid idea, because you don't like birds. So I got rid of those. This pathway will take the guests to one of the transportation sections for the site. So, if they're not up for walking in every single direction possible, they can come in here. This will be the chairlift, or skylift as I've called this so far. This leads me to one of the questions, which is that although some of the rides at the moment have names, those names are not final. So if there are any suggestions for names that you would like the rides to be, I'm very much aware of Satan's Butthole, which is going to be pride of place in the park. That will be the main roller coaster out of all of the roller coasters that will be in this site. This particular one at the moment is just called Skylift. If you would like it to be called something else, that can be changed. This walking through, again, wanted to kind of keep a fairly nice, I won't say fantasy theme, but, you know, pretty. So we'll come in through here, and this is where we'll enter. Just to advise, do not swing or bounce on the chairs. Thank you very much. This will be one of the main access ways into the site. Again, if people do not want to walk, they can use this. I believe this is yours as well. I'm not sure. I've left it here just in case you want to pick it up later. So, yeah, just thought I'd mention that. Here we have the sort of the back end at the moment where we've got all the electronics. So, at the moment, this is very much staff only. We have the building as a whole. For the guests who would like to carry on to this side of the park, they can do so. Obviously, at the moment, there's fuck all here but fields. That will change. So, we have the skylift. Coming back in. Still keeping the fantasy-esque theme. It's very pretty. And we shall walk back to the entrance. We have a couple of little mini games for our guests to play when they first come in, so we can milk them for every penny that they have before they've even gone on any of the rides. I'm not entirely sure if I actually want to try any of these, but you know, not entirely sure if I trust it somehow. So, Hell's Paradise. Bit of a mock-up at the moment. This may change. And of course, we have your beautiful face. It'd be surprising how different this will be at night time when all of this is lit up. Coming through here, again, this will be the main kind of thoroughfare for everybody. And this is where we have your Hall of Fame. So all of your little icons blown up. Again, these are placeholders. I want to say that they can stay here. I don't say that with any authority because obviously I don't own these. I'm very much aware of that. So I don't want to sit here and say, oh, these will be here in the end of the game, because I can't say that. If there is anything else that you would like to be in here, if you have a suggestion for it, let me know. Because I fully appreciate that these may not be able to stay here. As the guests come through, you will then transition into the park proper. This is where we will start to open up. And so we have Hell's Paradise. We have our stalwart guards on the top, making sure that the guests don't play up and don't nick anything. Those two guys are actually pretty good, Mike and Jeff. These two guys... Yeah, what? Nigel. Thank you. Okay. Nigel and Bob. These two... Let's just say Vigilant isn't exactly their middle name, so... you know, Bob! Oh, thank you. Hell's Paradise. we come through into a medieval / fantasy inspired village, I want to say. So we have some of the houses and their lovely gardens, well tended to, of course, which for this particular one, and there are some others, especially the one just at the back there, just serve as a kind of an architectural piece. They don't serve any particular function. This particular one over here, which Dino's just about to disappear into, does serve a purpose. Oh. Hello, Barbara. This building is another one of the staff buildings. So again, when the staff get tired, they will come into here. This will be the main plaza. So obviously, when we get the guests, this will look a little bit more busy. A couple of the shops that we have over here, again, staff are a bit difficult in this place, so they've fired themselves. We have one of the pathways coming through the back here. This is one of the areas it was done, and then I changed my mind on a few things, so this is now gone back to kind of a work in progress. But this is more for people just to kind of have a walk through and just enjoy the scenery. So very much that kind of medieval village green outskirts type thing. And hopefully this will look a bit more interesting when it's completed. But this has been changed around a few bits, as the roller coaster that is going above at the moment is essentially trying to get it to interact a little bit more with the environment. So it goes through these trees, for instance, as you come down from there. And obviously you can see the ride from the skylift. This bit, I've just realised, this thing isn't quite attaching to there anymore because I had to move it. So that we will change. Moving around. Oh, now you stop. There we go. This, for some reason, I find very cute. It does remind me a lot of the same kind of machine that's in Shrek when they go to Dulac for the first time. And they have the little figurines in there. It's like, welcome to Dulac, such a perfect town. We have lads and rules, let them lay them down. I can't quite get that out of my head whenever I see this. So, this is here for you. They're so cute. Coming back through, and this will lead onto this path, so you can either go right the way around this or go through it if you want to. This is for the entrance for the roller coaster at the moment. This is, I've literally only just put this in, so this is going to change a lot before it's finished, because I was trying to figure out a building to put around the outside of here. The first one I did just didn't look very good at all, so that's going to change. With this ride, it's going to be more the family-friendly roller coaster, so you know, for parents and kids and that kind of thing. The more extreme roller coasters, of which will be Satan's Butthole, will be right at the back end of the park. And of course, I'm sure as you know, you are able to ride on these particular rides, so we shall pop onto those at the end if you wish. So we have the backs of these buildings, because I want to try and make sure that all of the buildings have some interesting features on them all the way around. This one, I will be honest, it doesn't at the moment, because there are several sections of this that just aren't finished, like the base. Looks a bit bare. Looks as though the walls just end at the ground and that's it. You know, it doesn't look all that good. Coming back through to the main thoroughfare at the moment, you have across here the rides, which are 3 currently. just for this main section here. Again, this is just a very family-friendly section, so you know the kids don't have to walk that far. The parents have somewhere nice and quiet to go. You have a kind of a walkway slash viewing section up here. Might be a couple of extra bits that I put in for this, but it was just a nice little, I say quiet area. You can still hear some of the music in the background, but it's enough that when you've got the guests here that you know you can just have a little sit down and see some of the rides around you and be like, oh, I wouldn't mind going on that. This does have a few fish, so we have some koi carp in here at the moment for people's pleasure. It's actually one of the things that isn't in the game naturally. It's something I found on Steam Workshop, so adds a bit of character to the whole scene. So we have this. Coming back down and around, this little hub here, garden slash meetup area, dining section, come train station, is a bit of a hub for food, drinks, information, and another totally toilet, not fuck room, and first aid if the fuck room goes wrong. Here we have one of your stations. Now this houses the Coney Express. And this will be another method of travel for people to get around the park. So there are currently 2 stations. This one and one a little further away, which doesn't have a building on it currently. And indeed, this entire track isn't finished as of yet. Going to the back over here. The track starts here, or stops here. Comes through under the bridge. Around. Over this little babbling brook. Which, again, work in progress. We'll come up this little embankment and we'll essentially go over a pathway. So there will be a pathway that runs through the centre of here for the guests to come down so they can see the train going over and the people on the train can see the people going under. We'll come down this side, around, and then to here. There will be a few other train stations, namely one right at the back over here. And then there will be another one over... I may change this lake here a little bit, but there'll be a train that will go over there, up to the back here, come around here, and then join up with this track. So there'll be 4, maybe 5 stations. It depends. And so people can come off, come into here, and start to make their way back out of the park once more. For the rides, we have currently the teacups. I was going to say A-cups, but if there's a specific size of cup that you would like, let me know. And so we can come up through here. And I will say this, because this has just reminded me. Working on this section of the park, I remember doing this when you were having a massive geek out over Super Sentai. And going over near enough the entire history of Super Sentai. So that will always remind me of this place. So we have the teacups. And for this, I will say that this cage system that's around it at the moment is actually not of my design. This is one that is off the Steam Workshop, so I am not going to take any credit for this. Once the whole park is done, I will have a catalogue of credits for where some of the like Steam Workshop stuff's come from, so if people want to get that specific thing, they can do. But obviously, credit where credit is due, as far as I'm concerned. We have, coming up through here, a break-off for 2 of the rides. So this one at the moment is called Prancer. Again, the names you can change, should you wish to. And this is very much your merry-go-round, as I know you're very fond of horses. And just for the hell of it, let's actually see if we can put you on this ride for a second. Let's see if I can actually try and find a horse to put you on. There we go. Very pretty horse. You can spend as many hours as you'd like on there. Coming back through here, we have another ride called Dazzler. This one, again, I will not take credit for, as this is another one off of the Steam Workshop. The entrance does sort of end here, so I've just extended it slightly down to here, just using the same kind of theming. But again, this is just going to be one of your more gentler rides. And coming down through here, we find a path leading off into the murky depths, which, given that some people are more easily scared than others, and I've just realised that I've gone down completely the wrong path, which says a lot about the fact that I know my own park. Coming through here is going to lead to the more spooky section of the park, and well, let's just say I need. Can you hold my hand, because this gets a bit scary. This section I've literally only just started on. I get very bad with ideas and kind of go, oh, that's a good idea, go off and do that, and don't quite finish it, and then go back to something else that I haven't finished. And there's a lot of things going on, and none of which are finished. Over here, you have a pet dragon called Bertha. You may name her whatever you wish. I don't think she's that fussed about what she's called. She's not house trained, as far as I'm aware, so you might want to keep an eye on that. She does keep to herself. She's incredibly lazy. I keep checking on her every now and then. I've never actually seen her wake up once. So she might actually not be that much of a handful. I will look at adding some gold, jewels, various shiny things in here when I can find some gold, jewels and shiny things to actually add in. But for the most part, she keeps to herself. So, yeah. Through here, as Cedric, if you wouldn't mind just, thank you very much. This is going to be the spooky area, full of ghouls and ghosts and other things, creepy things that come out, and people that hide in bushes. So coming through here, during the day, doesn't look anywhere near as impressive as it will do at night. However, we have the trees, very Disney-esque, and a certain somebody poking their head out in the background. But very kind of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs as you're running through the forest, and you see the trees with faces and sneering at you, and not very pleasant. But then we have a lovely little selfie that I found of you one day and thought would look rather good in here. This will come and open out to this ride that people will see. And will indeed continue around this sort of moat section, which design of which might change a little bit. There will be other things that will be placed around here. So we have this home here, which again serves as a staff centre, but is essentially the gravekeeper's home. The graveyard is going to be over sort of this area, so this will be the gate. This will lead into the graveyard area around here, and then over here on a hill is going to be a haunted house. Very much your mansion-esque looking building, but will serve also as a haunted house ride for people to be able to go up into, interact with, and kind of see the rest of the park. So by the time you get to the mansion, you'll be probably roughly the same height as this bit here, but overlooking the rest of this site from here whenever you get up there. Moving around, there will be a couple of other rides. I haven't figured out what yet, but there'll be a few others around there, suitably themed. This serves no other purpose than being more thematic, aesthetic. This would essentially be for any of the workers or the engineers to come up to, as this serves for these little lights which are up here at the moment. They look a bit odd as they don't appear to be doing anything. However, they look a lot better at night time, and you shall see that. So, diving back down into your park once more, as you take a bit of an overview of what you've seen so far. All of this then will eventually lead out onto the more hardcore section, if you like, of the park. So around this area here is where all of the big rides are going to be. This is where specifically Satan's butthole will be placed. So it will be sort of pride of place, right in the centre, that people are able to kind of view from here as they come over the bridge. They will see the sort of the 3 loops that you have going around there. Suitably impressive enough, I think, that will draw people's attention. This then is the entrance / exit for the skylift. So for those who joined at the beginning of the park, this is where it will drop them off. Those who have come from kind of this section of the park, they can use this then just to get back to the beginning. It doesn't, looking at this now, I will be honest, it doesn't feel as though I've done an awful lot with this, but there is a lot more to come, and I wish I was good enough to be able to kind of say, oh, it will be done in this much time, you know, next couple of weeks or next couple of months. I honestly don't know. I wish I could give you an answer or some idea. It started off as a bit of a passion project, and has slowly kind of grown into something which I really want to make sure is perfect for you, because I can see how much you love theme parks, especially after your birthday celebration when you went on VR chat and you went to the theme park. I'm not going to lie, that made me cry a lot, just to see genuinely how happy you were being with your friends and being somewhere that you just enjoyed so much. And I hope once this is done that you potentially may find some enjoyment in here also. So as people start to make their way back out of the park once more, having had the time of their lives, of course, Some of those will want to come in during the day. Have a nice time of it. There are others then that would prefer to see this particular place at night time. This is where the atmosphere of it changes a little bit. Now hopefully this will be a little quicker. And I hope that if you are still with me at this point, I thank you for your patience. This will be what the guests will see when they come into your park at night time. Hopefully the lights make a bit more sense now as to what they were doing up there. Once again, having the path lit up. Having your little fantasy seating area. For all of the pink lights that are everywhere. And hopefully yourself and any of those who are guests in this park will enjoy the nighttime version of this game. Of course, at the moment the exit out here is fairly bare, but still. As we take a wander back through. As you see your wonderful Hell's Paradise. And indeed, your name in lights. As we work our way through the Hall of Fame. Out once more into the park proper. And we start to see how this park looks during the night time. Certainly a different atmosphere to it at this point. And for this you can have your day-night cycle if you wish, or you can just have it permanently day, permanently night, however you're feeling at the time. Working over to our courtyard. Indeed for your train. So you see once again a nice little kind of peaceful section that we have. For our rides, for people as they go up, and for those actually wanting to go on the rides. And then this section, which I am really going to need you to hold my hand on this one because this is damn scary. Yep, no, she's asleep. Okay. Goddamn. Coming through here. And there will be some kind of sound effects that are going to be placed in here, just to obviously add to the ambiance. You're beautiful, mug. Ah. And of course, this kind of centerpiece ride at the moment. This looks far more imposing at night time. And shall look even more spooky once everything is laid out in this particular area. And I would say for the moment, that unfortunately is all I have for you. As we take a look, I would say popping up here, we'll just show you the park as a whole as to what you have currently. I feel kind of ashamed in some respects to say this is like only 4 months, 5 months worth of work. I suppose realistically it's not continuous, but if it is something that you would like, I shall make a far more concerted effort to put some time and energy into this to make sure that it is completed for you. However, I shall leave you with one final thing. I'm not entirely sure what music I am going to put this to. But there is... I want to put myself about there, I would say. So, this is a mock-up at the moment just to get certain things in place. When it comes to nighttime, around 8 o'clock, as that is when, or roughly around then, I would say you normally start your streams. Although it's like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning for me, because yay for living in the UK. This will play. Let me see if I can put... Where would we normally put this? About there. So this will start to play out for everybody as your stream will begin. Again, this is not going to be the final display for this. I've sort of a mind at the moment that the BNG that you currently have for your stream will be what would run with this. I don't know if that can be allowed. Or if there is something else that you would rather have run in the background for you. If you have an idea for a song, by all means let me know. It will take some time to figure out how the whole thing actually works, because I'm not too sure, but I will make the effort to get it to work. If you are still here at the end of all of this, because I appreciate this is a hell of a long time, and if you have skipped through it, that is perfectly fine, because I probably would have done as well, especially with my voice, because it is fucking annoying. But if you are still here at the end of this, I thank you, Mouse. I thank you for everything that you have done for all of us in the Precious family. the time that you take to give to us, the dedication that you've shown, all of the ideas that you've come up with to keep things, I would say fresh, but they've never ever gone stale in the first place to ever need reinventing, but that you've changed your forms, you know, kind of longer hair. You now have horns that wiggle whenever you blink. Just know that you are so, so precious to us. You mean the world to every single one of us. We would do anything for you. We love you so, so much. And we just want to make sure that you are happy, that you are cared for, and that you are loved, and that ultimately you know that you are loved. For everything that you give us, from just the streams on an everyday basis to everything that you do on Patreon, just all of the time and effort that you put into what you do, and all of this competing with just your life in general and the things that you have to contend with, that you are still able to be so happy, so cheerful. I wish I could give you a hug right now. I will give you kind of a virtual hug. Just know that you are loved. And once this is completed, I hope maybe someday at some point this may bring you some happiness, some joy, just to maybe pop into, if only even for a few minutes, and then never touch it again. That you may find some joy and some happiness just spending some time here, and know that it is made with love. Thank you for staying with me, Iron Mouse. I love you, and I will see you soon.